I'm Jessica Perkins. Thank you for joining us for our special report, Water in America, Poison on Tap. Our investigation into what's really in America's drinking water. More and more, chemicals from factories and pesticides and fertilizer from agriculture are finding their way into our water supplies. A recent New York Times article reported that 20% of water treatment systems nationwide have violated the Safe Drinking Water Act, exposing more than 49 million Americans to dangerous concentrations of chemicals like arsenic and radioactive materials like uranium.
Stories like these make headlines every day.
There are over 2,100 contaminants found in drinking water. Of those, 190 are known to cause health problems, and 28 are classified acute, chronic, toxic contaminants. Unfortunately, municipal water treatment hasn't changed much in half a century, and most water treatment plants were never designed to take out pollutants like these, from industrial waste, fertilizer, and other contaminants found in just about every water supply in the world.
Now, pharmaceuticals, including antibiotics, seizure medication, mood stabilizers, and birth control pills have been found in the drinking water of at least 41 million Americans.
According to a recent Associated Press report, pharmaceuticals have been turning up in treated drinking water, from New York to California. In Philadelphia, 56 different pharmaceuticals for asthma, epilepsy, mental illness, and heart disease were discovered. Anti-epileptic and anti-anxiety medications were detected in treated drinking water for 18.5 million people in Southern California. So people from coast to coast have a good reason to be worried about what's in their water.
So what do? Everyone wants good-tasting clean water for our families to drink, cook, and bathe in.
So we buy bottled water, water softeners, under-sink reverse osmosis units, filter pitchers for the refrigerator, bolt-on faucet filters. But which one's the best one for you?
There's so much misinformation out there and so many claims. It's hard to know the truth. Most people just want water that tastes good.
But the water we drink is only part of the problem. Studies show that up to 2/3 of our exposure to the bad stuff in our water happens when it's absorbed through our skin in the shower.
The American Journal of Public Health reported that the water we shower in is where we're exposed to most of the contaminants in our water, not the water we drink.
Assessments of drinking water safety assume ingestion or drinking represents the principal route of exposure. A review of the data revealed that skin penetration rates for solvents are remarkably high, and that the skin is a less effective barrier than traditionally assumed. Therefore, skin absorption of contaminants in drinking water has been underestimated, and that ingestion may not constitute the sole or even primary route of exposure.
Research shows even the chlorine that municipal water treatment plants are adding to our water to kill bacteria could be dangerous. Listen to what the experts are saying.
Chlorinated water has finally been officially linked to an increased incidence of colon cancer. Epidemiologists at Oak Ridge Associated Universities concluded that exposure to chlorinated water for 15 years or more was conducive to a high rate of colon cancer.
The skin is the largest organ in the human body. What we don't realize is that besides things coming out of the skin, things go through the skin and into the blood. And when we take a shower or bathe, the toxins that are in the water, including chlorine, go through the skin and into the blood, and at that time, you have to worry about disease setting in.
Long-term exposure to chlorinated water appears to increase a person's risk of developing bladder cancer as much as 80%. Some 45,000 Americans are diagnosed every year with bladder cancer.
So while you're worried about the water you're drinking, your skin's been absorbing 2/3 of the bad stuff in water in the shower. So the water we bathe in could be more dangerous than the water we drink.
That's why any water system for your home needs to treat all of your water, not just the water you drink at the kitchen sink.
It doesn't make any sense to treat the water you drink at the kitchen sink when your skin's absorbing who knows what in the shower. Don't you want great tasting water from every faucet and sparkling clear water in every shower without all the chlorine and other bad stuff?
Like the water from the H2O Concepts whole house water system, because it takes out chlorine, the bad taste and odor, and other bad stuff at every faucet and shower everywhere in the house.
So with H2O Concepts whole house water system, you're not only drinking healthier, better than bottled quality water, you're bathing in it too. It's like having mountain spring water at every faucet and shower in your home. Great tasting, healthier water without chlorine from every faucet in your home is a phone call away. So go to your phone right now.
Call the number on the screen and start enjoying healthier, better than bottled quality water at every faucet and shower without the bottle with H2O Concepts Whole House Water System.
It could be the most important call you'll make for your family's health all year. So call the number on the screen. Operators are standing by.
You hear so much about other water systems. What makes H2O Concept systems different from, like, water softeners?
Well, water softeners have been around for over a century and haven't changed much. Watch. Inside a water softener, millions of small plastic beads, seen here in orange, are coated with salt, the small black dots. As the water moves through, calcium and magnesium, the red and yellow shapes, attach to the larger beads and the salt is released. The important calcium and magnesium our bodies need is trapped, and the salt travels on to your faucets and shower. That's why 60 Minutes called water with the calcium and magnesium taken out dead water, because all the good stuff is gone.
So why do they call them water softeners?
Because soft water sounds nicer. Softeners just take out the calcium and magnesium our bodies need and replace them with salt. There's really nothing soft about adding salt to your water at all.
So hardness is only the calcium and magnesium that's naturally supposed to be in our water?
Nature meant for the water we drink to be our main source of calcium and magnesium. Without calcium and magnesium, water would be too acidic to drink. Besides, hardness alone adds almost no flavor at all. If your water tastes bad, it's probably from chemicals like chlorine and other contaminants.
So hardness is good, and all the salt in softened water makes it bad. And all this time, water softener people made us think hard water's bad for us.
And really the opposite is true. The World Health Organization says drinking water rich in calcium and magnesium is good for us, and people drinking water with the important minerals taken out, like water from water softeners or reverse osmosis units or bottled water, have a better chance of getting heart disease and diabetes. Listen.
Magnesium deficiency has been implicated in hypertension and type 2 diabetes, along with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. In addition, some artificially softened water may contain high levels of sodium.
Well, calcium is needed to keep your body healthy, because without calcium, your metabolic functions don't happen. Without calcium, you don't have a skeleton, okay? And without calcium, you don't prevent diseases like osteoporosis, okay, like cardiovascular disease, like cancer. You need calcium, so calcium is that important to the body. Magnesium is one of those minerals that's not discussed enough. It's involved in over 600 different metabolic processes in the human body. Without magnesium, you don't use calcium. Without magnesium, you don't use potassium properly. Without magnesium, your blood vessels constrict. Blood pressure goes up. Heart rate is erratic. Without magnesium, you don't burn sugar well. Magnesium is absolutely essential along with calcium.
So how do softeners filter the water?
That's just it. Most water softeners don't filter anything.
So let me get this straight. Most water softeners don't filter the water. They take calcium and magnesium our bodies need out and replace it with salt? Is all that salt good for you?
Not according to the Mayo Clinic. Listen.
Water softeners are sometimes a hidden source of sodium in your water at home. If your water softener adds excessive sodium to the water you drink, you might want to consider switching to a different water purification system.
When you are bathing in water, you absorb salt 7 times as much through the skin as you do through the digestive system. So of course it's going to bring up your sodium levels faster than if you were to actually eat it or drink it. And a lot of people bathe in water that has too high a sodium level.
Water softeners add so much salt to our groundwater that more and more places are banning them. But it gets worse. Remember, our skin absorbs up to 2/3 of the chlorine and contaminants we're exposed to in the shower. So buying bottled water, water softeners, or ROs doesn't help. Listen.
Showering is suspected as the primary cause of elevated levels of chloroform in nearly every home because of the chlorine in the water. Chlorine is the greatest crippler and killer of modern times. While it prevented epidemics of one disease, it was creating another. After the start of chlorinating our drinking water in 1904, the epidemic of heart trouble, cancer, and senility began.
The U.S. Council of Environmental Quality determined the cancer risk among people exposed to chlorinated water is 93% higher than people whose water doesn't contain chlorine. It's like dumping bleach in your water. So why would you have any water system like softeners or ROs that don't take the chlorine and other bad stuff out of the shower?
But the H2O Concepts whole house water system takes out chlorine. Watch. Here's normal tap water. A test kit used to test chlorine in pool water turns the water yellow. You see how much chlorine is in your tap water? Now another glass of tap water. Why don't you give it a quick stir with your fingers to simulate taking a shower or bath? Good. Add the same few drops and where'd all the chlorine go?
Wow, the chlorine's gone.
Because it was absorbed right through the skin in your fingers. That's how much bad stuff your skin's absorbing in the shower.
When you look at chlorine, chlorine's an acid, and scientists will tell you that cancer cells have an acidic environment. So if you're exposed to chlorine in excessive amounts, and that could be in your water that you bathe in or take a shower in, then your chance of getting cancer is going to go up, and you want to avoid that.
Now, here's water from the H2O Concepts whole house water system. You see the chlorine's gone.
So the H2O Concepts system takes chlorine out of the water at every faucet in the house and the water my family showers in. And most softeners and ROs don't.
And with softeners, you'll be buying salt forever. And with ROs, you'll be changing filters for the rest of your life. And wasting between 70 and 300 gallons of water every few days during the backwashing cycle. You'll be dumping 12,000 to 54,000 gallons of salty brine into our water supply every year.
I heard it can cause scale buildup in plumbing and shorten the life of appliances like water heaters and dishwashers. Can the H2O Concept system help with the hard water problems too?
Just watch. As water passes through the electronic portion of the H2O Concepts unit, high-frequency, low-voltage electricity pulses through the stream of water at up to 3,000 times a second, breaking up the calcium to form a harmless mineral that resists scale buildup, virtually eliminating hard water scale without adding salt or other chemicals.
So with H2O Concepts whole house water system, you get great tasting water at every faucet, it takes the chlorine and other bad stuff out in the shower, and there's no more hard water deposits in appliances like water heaters, and it leaves the healthy calcium and magnesium in.
You'll never lift another 40-pound bag of water softener salt that pollutes groundwater.
And you'll never have to buy another case of expensive bottled water and carry it home from the store, because healthier, great-tasting water is as close as the nearest faucet. You'll never run out.
And your family won't be exposed to chlorine and who knows what else in the shower. An H2O Concepts whole house system received the Water Quality Association's Gold Seal, guaranteeing you'll be getting the highest quality water possible. And it comes with a 10-year warranty. So you'll have the peace of mind knowing they stand behind every unit they make for a full 10 years. Enjoying great tasting, healthier water without the chlorine and all the rest of the bad things in your water is just a phone call away. So go to your phone right now.
Call now and H2O Concepts will give you a generous trade-in on your old system, no matter what kind of system you have.
With the rebate on your new system, you'll save hundreds, but you have to call right now.
You hear so much about reverse osmosis. What are ROs anyway?
Reverse osmosis forces water under pressure through a filter or membrane with holes just large enough to let water get through, but trapping the calcium and magnesium. But only a little of the water gets through. Most of it passes by and is flushed down the drain. That's why RO units can waste 4 gallons of water for every gallon they produce, or up to 10,000 gallons of tap water every year. But when the RO strips out the calcium and magnesium, it leaves the water extremely acidic. Take a look at this.